Hi, educators. I am so excited to be with you today. Happy Friday. I learned something today that my mind was just completely blown, and I cannot wait to share this with you. Okay, so let me ask you, have you ever gone to a professional development and you just absolutely fell in love with this? It was some new program or some idea or some new method, and the person that was kind of giving you the information, the facilitator, was just on fire. He or she was fantastic, and you were just in there like all the way in, right? And you were so jazzed up and excited. You're telling all your friends about it, and you might as well work for the person. You're that excited. Well, let me just ask you, have you ever had it happen where once you went there and you were so jazzed up and so excited, then you went back to your school or to your building or to your classroom and you thought, oh no, I can't even implement this in my school or in my classroom. And then it was like a big letdown, because what you thought was fantastic and wonderful, gosh, it didn't work for me. Well, I'm Diane McKinley. I've been in education for over 20 years, and I am here to talk to you about some of these problems that I've had as well. I provide high quality professional development for all types of educators now, and this is one of the things that keeps me up at night. And so I was listening to a podcast today, and it was like, boom, lights on, bing. I realized that what this person who was actually talking about business was describing was the same thing that we have a problem with as educators. And so she summed it up really easily. And what I realized was, I already knew this. You already know it too. But I'm going to lay it out really easy for you in terms that educators are going to get, because it's going to be relevant to us. So let me talk to you a little bit about how I devour information. I am an information hog. I love to listen to things. I love to read things. I love to go to seminars or professional development opportunities. I am all in. It's like I am like a kid who wants to eat their birthday cake, right? You want to eat it all. And I just can't get enough information. Well, that's part of the problem, is that we devour tons and tons of information, but we forget about two other really big, important, key components. So here it is, plain and simple, 3 simple things. The first thing is, we got to listen. We're really good at that, right? We're really good at listening to all this information, whether it's on a podcast, whether it's from a professional development facilitator, whether it's from our administrator or our superintendent. Whoever, we're all in with listening. We get that. The next part is we have to learn it. Now, you're saying, Diane, I listened to it. I learned it. I'm talking about a different kind of learn. I'm talking about actually going through the steps to actually learn the information. You guys all know the joke, right? About the person who tried to teach the dog to talk. And it doesn't really matter that you have taught the dog. It's about learning, right? So whether or not they've learned. So second part was learn. So after you listen, you have to make sure you actually learn. And the third piece is the ultimate piece. And this is where so many educators fall down, is you've got to implement it, right? So it's listen, learn, and implement. And what I realized was when I was working with adults, it was the same type of thing that I noticed when I was working with students. If I didn't build into the professional development time the opportunity for students, whether they're adults or whether they're kids, to actually take time and learn it, they were destined to fail. And so as I started to think back, this made so much sense to me, because I started to think back, how was I going through and really helping adults in the process of professional development? And I realized I was building in that learning time right there. You know, it happens for you. If you're in a great professional development session, you will have time to work as a team, to do some role playing, to work on some charts that might be spread around the room, where you go with a group of people and you really are digesting the information that you heard from the presenter. And now you're putting it into a way in which you are making sure that you have learned it, you've solidified it, and you could really even teach it to somebody else at that point in time. So once you listen, you have to learn. Sometimes you're going to go to professional development seminars where you're going to sit and you're going to listen, and it's going to sound so amazing. It sounds jazzy. It sounds fun. You're going to hear a lot of things that you're like, yes, that is the answer. This person is brilliant. But if there isn't time in that professional development seminar or session for you to actually learn the information, to interact with the information, that's a huge breakdown. So it's really important for you to get that time to learn. And then number 3, this is it. This is the key. This is the kicker. Here is where so many principals and superintendents and teachers that I work with, here is where they trip up. And I'll hear them say things like, oh my gosh, I went to this and I learned so much, but it doesn't work in my classroom or doesn't work in my school. And that's because they're missing the last piece. It's the implementation piece. It is key. The implementation piece is not just about saying, okay, I'll go back, I'll take this little piece that I liked and this little piece that I liked, and I'll try it in my classroom, and oops, it didn't work. Or I'll try it in my school, and uh-oh, I don't think that works for me. It might work in some places. When we're talking about implementation of some new method or project or program or whatever that we've learned, pieces of information, we need to set some time aside to really plan for that implementation so that we can have success in whatever setting we're going to use it in. So it is listen, learn, and implement. You want to spend a small amount of time listening, double that time for learning, and you're really going to want to triple that for your implementation time. That way, you're going to be able to be successful. So like I said, you probably already knew it, but this is a brilliant way. Oh my goodness, couldn't believe it when I heard it. It was lights on, a brilliant way to think about it. It's just 3 simple steps. Listen, learn, and implement. I hope to see you back soon. You can always join us at www.encompassinged.com. That's INCOMPASSINGED.com. We'd love for you to join us on our Lounge and Learn sessions. You can see those on our website as well, where you can get 1 hour bite-sized professional development that is going to help you implement things the very next day in your classroom. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon.